Behind the palace walls, after the crowds have dispersed and the cameras have gone dark, a different kind of monarchy emerges. This is a kingdom of quiet ritual, of unspoken rules and deeply ingrained habits that have dictated the life of a king for over 70 years. These aren't matters of state, they are the private, unyielding routines that shape the man who wears the crown. For King Charles III, the night is not just a time for rest. It is a meticulously structured performance, a series of rituals so precise that they reveal more about his psychology, his anxieties, and his vision of duty than any public speech ever could. From the temperature of his bathwater to the placement of his pajamas, nothing is left to chance. These are the secrets whispered by former staff, the details hidden in plain sight, and the traditions that form the invisible architecture of his life. They are the code that governs his existence when the world isn't watching. And tonight, we're decoding it. These are the 10 secret nighttime rituals King Charles still performs, and the surprising reasons why they matter more than you think.
It is done.
Number 10. The ironed shoelaces. Before the king's day can truly end, his next one is already being prepared with obsessive detail, and it starts from the ground up. According to royal staff, one of the non-negotiable daily tasks for his valet is ensuring the king's shoelaces are pressed perfectly flat with an iron. This isn't a quick pass-over, it's a meticulous process to ensure there are no creases or twists. This seemingly trivial act is a hallmark of his worldview. It's a belief that order, discipline, and presentation must be absolute, down to the smallest detail. The state of a man's shoelaces, in this context, is a reflection of the state of his mind and his readiness for duty. It's the first step in a long chain of perfectionism that defines his evening. Why it matters? This ritual establishes a baseline of absolute order and control, demonstrating that for Charles, there is no detail too small to escape the pursuit of perfection. Number 9. The 1-inch toothpaste rule. Personal hygiene for the king is not a casual affair, it's a protocol. Former butlers have reported that Charles's valet is instructed to squeeze exactly 1 inch of toothpaste onto his toothbrush every single evening. Not a little more, not a little less. This task is so specific that it has become legendary among palace staff. This isn't about saving toothpaste. It's about the comfort of absolute predictability in an unpredictable life. For a man whose every move is scrutinized, having even the most mundane tasks performed with military precision provides a sense of stability. It removes the need for trivial decision-making, freeing his mind for matters of state. Why it matters? This habit reveals a deep-seated need for consistency and the elimination of minor variables, ensuring his private world runs on a flawless, predictable schedule. Number 8. The bathtub protocol. King Charles's evening bath is another ritual governed by strict, unchangeable rules. The bath must be filled, but only ever lukewarm, and just half full. The bath plug must be in a specific position, and items like his personal soap dish and towel must be laid out in the exact same configuration every single night, no matter where in the world he is. This isn't just a preference, it's a recreation of a familiar environment. It's a way of grounding himself in a consistent sensory experience, a moment of quiet contemplation in a setting that feels the same whether he's in Buckingham Palace or on a royal tour abroad. The bath is a sanctuary, and its setup is non-negotiable. Why it matters? This ritual highlights his method for creating a sense of home and stability through sensory repetition, a vital coping mechanism for a life of constant travel and public duty. Number 7. The perfectly placed pajamas. Once his bath is complete, the king's pajamas are expected to be laid out on his bed, but not just anywhere. They must be pressed and folded in a very specific way, waiting for him. This, like the shoelaces, is a task that has been performed for him every night for decades, a silent signal that the formal part of his day is over and the private part has begun. This tradition speaks to a life of delegated intimacy. From a young age, the most personal aspects of his life have been managed by others. The laying out of his pajamas is a comforting, lifelong constant, a symbol of the seamless service that allows his life to function without friction. It's a quiet moment of being cared for in a life defined by caring for the nation. Why it matters. This habit underscores the degree to which his personal life is managed, creating a frictionless existence that preserves his energy for his official role. Number 6. The late light dinner. Famously, King Charles does not eat lunch. He believes it's a luxury that gets in the way of a packed work schedule. This makes his evening meal incredibly important. However, he doesn't sit down for a grand feast. His dinner is typically served late, often after 8:30 p.m., and is always something light, seasonal, and preferably organic, often featuring eggs and a side salad. He is known to bring a box of his own homegrown foods with him on royal tours to ensure his standards are met. This isn't just about being a fussy eater, it's a reflection of his decades-long advocacy for organic farming and sustainability. He eats his principles, quite literally. The late hour is simply a result of his refusal to stop working until the day's duties are done. Why it matters? His dinner ritual is a direct expression of his core values: discipline, sustainability, and a work-first mentality, and his refusal to compromise on them. Number 5. The pre-mixed martini. Before his late dinner, the king often enjoys a specific drink, a dry martini. However, he doesn't just have one made on the spot. He has his staff pre-mix a batch of his preferred recipe, which is then stored in a special flask and chilled. He then pours his own drink, ensuring it is exactly to his liking every single time. This is more than just a cocktail preference. It's an exercise in efficiency and quality control. By having a batch pre-made, he ensures perfect consistency and removes any chance of variation. It's a small luxury, but one that is executed with the same precision as everything else in his life. It's his personal method for unwinding, but on his own exacting terms. Why it matters? This habit showcases his desire for perfect, repeatable quality in all things, extending his demand for control even to his moments of relaxation. Number 4. The traveling bedroom. When King Charles travels, he doesn't just pack a suitcase, he essentially brings his entire bedroom with him. It's been widely reported that a truck carries his personal effects, including his orthopedic bed, his own linens, his favourite landscape paintings, and even his own toilet seat and Kleenex velvet toilet paper. This extraordinary effort is about creating a perfect replica of his personal space, no matter the location. It's the ultimate expression of his need for familiarity and comfort. For a man who is technically a guest everywhere he goes, this ritual allows him to sleep in his own bed every night, providing a crucial sense of psychological security and continuity. Why it matters? This reveals the lengths to which he goes to manage the psychological stress of constant travel, using a familiar environment as his ultimate anchor. Number 3. The refusal of modern technology. As the evening progresses, King Charles does not wind down by scrolling through a tablet or watching television. He is a man of paper and ink. He spends a significant portion of his night reading and responding to correspondence, but he does so through handwritten letters, often using a fountain pen. He famously refers to them as his Black Spider memos. This isn't just a nostalgic preference, it's a philosophical choice. He believes in a more personal, thoughtful form of communication. By writing by hand, he is forced to be deliberate and considered. This analog ritual keeps him grounded in a tradition of leadership that predates the digital age, a tangible link to his royal predecessors. Why it matters? His rejection of modern tech in the evening is a deliberate act to preserve a more thoughtful and traditional mode of operation, insulating his thinking from the fast-paced digital world. Number 2. the midnight red boxes. For the monarch, the workday never truly ends. Long after dinner, often past midnight, King Charles sits down to tackle the famous red boxes. These dispatch boxes contain government papers, intelligence briefings, and state documents that require his review and signature. It's a duty his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, performed with relentless dedication, and he continues it with the same vigour. This is the most critical and least glamorous part of his job. While the nation sleeps, he is working. This late-night ritual is the ultimate symbol of his commitment to the constitutional role of the monarch. It's a heavy, solitary burden, and his willingness to sacrifice sleep for it demonstrates his profound sense of duty. Why it matters: this ritual is the clearest evidence of his work ethic and his solemn commitment to the responsibilities of the crown, which operate on a 24-hour cycle. Number 1. The Valet's Vigil. Perhaps the most telling ritual is not one the king performs himself, but one he requires of his staff. A valet is always on duty, waiting for the king to finish his work, no matter how late it gets. This person is there to assist with any final needs before he retires to bed, often in the very early hours of the morning. It's a silent, patient watch. This continuous human presence is the final piece of the puzzle. It shows that his life, from morning to night, is a fully supported operation. This isn't just about luxury, it's a practical necessity for a head of state. The valet's vigil ensures that the king's transition from public duty to private rest is seamless, secure, and utterly without disruption, allowing him to function at the highest level day after day. Why it matters: this dependence on a constant personal staff presence reveals that his entire life, even in its most private moments, is a structured, managed, and supported performance of his royal role. And that brings us to the end of our journey through the strange dining rituals King Charles still follows today. These quiet habits, some ancient, some deeply personal, reveal far more about the man behind the crown than any public appearance ever could. If you enjoyed exploring this hidden side of royal life, take a moment to let me know. Leave a comment with the ritual that surprised you the most. I read every single one. And if you learned something new, tap the like button so this story reaches more people who love royal mysteries as much as you do. Most importantly, make sure you subscribe before you go. There are so many more royal secrets, rituals, and forgotten traditions coming, and I'd love to have you with us for the next chapter. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.